Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And yes, as you can see here, I am very happy for this ban list because, I would say that these ban list changes come out of nowhere, but, Master Duel updates its ban list on a monthly basis because, we need to keep things fresh around here if we want to keep retaining the players that we already have and plus some. So, editing me once again, this will be a month. This is a monthly thing, so there's that. Unless, of course, there's like an emergency ban somewhere down the line, but otherwise, yes. We're gonna have some work to do for this episode. And it may actually change what I'm gonna play today. Actually, no, it will change what I'm gonna play because of a change to this ban list. I was gonna play something else because it's timely, but I may end up not doing it after all. So there's that. So this will be effective on the 1st of September. Quite literally on the day, like on the dot, like when September rolls around. That's when Christmas season begins in the Philippines. So we will be hearing from our overlord Jose Marie Chan once again. So there's that. So the bans. These are, well, some of them are a long time coming, and some of them are, well, deservedly so, I guess. So the first ban, and I'll put these two in the same vein because they are quite literally used for the same purpose. Rongaminiad and Bishbolken. These two are FTK enablers. They are the win cons of decks that are not fun to play against, nor are they fun to interact with. And this is definitely a way to curtail the bots that have been apparently been running rampant yet again because of these FTK enablers. So there's that, and then of course Rongominiad. Gossip Shadow is banned thankfully, but in spite of all of that, Rongo Bongo is still a problem nonetheless. Still sad that the heroic challenger decks cannot use their main win condition. So, good riddance to Bish Balkan. That thing was just waiting and waiting to be broken at any given opportunity, and it's probably only here on Master Duel where it's going to be banned because this is a best of fun format and whatnot. But Rongominiad, unfortunately, Gossip Shadow is not going to be the cause of your imprisonment this time around. I mean, yes, you have a toxic relationship with Gossip Shadow, and now both of you get to be in prison together. That's so sad to hear. Oh my god. Rongo was jailed in the paper game for the sins of Gossip Shadow, but now they're here in Master Duel, in another timeline. The both of them are gonna rot there at the same time. Holy shit. And up next on the bans, Agido. This is like the first of the two Ishizuri trains that's quite literally gonna get the axe. Oh my god. So we will definitely be moving out of the tier limit meta with this update on September 1st. Agido is a really big hit. I think this is the one that Mills 5, if I remember correctly. I only looked up Kelbeck because that's the other one that's going to be like on the I cannot English. That's the one that's going to be updated on the FNL list soon. Agido, I'm still surprised they didn't touch Mudora. But I guess, banning one of them and then leaving Kelbeck and Mudora in, so they only really have, I think, 3 Ishizuri trains left because Agido is going to be like taken at the back of the barn completely, and we'll probably never hear from them again unless, of course, power creep does its thing, and then it's okay for full power tier limit to be part of the metagame again. But otherwise, Agido, you will not be missed. And then Merly, we're gonna save the other one for last because, good God, about goddamn time. Merly, I think, is the common. Shiren is the one that's ultra rare. So Konami, being cowards yet again, they don't want the players to just craft down their ultra rare points. return of investment and whatnot. But I am, me personally, I am more than fine breaking stuff down, just so that I can be somewhat competitively viable in this game. Merely, I think all of the main deck tier elements. I've never played the deck, but I do have faced off against it enough times to know that the main deck ones, at least the girls, they all do essentially the same thing. They special summon themselves from the hand and then mill some number of cards. I don't really remember what Merle's exact effect is, but that's usually all I remember from all of the main deck tier element monsters. And of course, there's also Rhino Heart, who does his own thing, and then but Merle being banned, that's not just a slap on the wrist for tier limits. That's like outright shooting. Same with Agido. You shoot them in the back of the barn, and they will never be heard from again. And finally, Block Dragon finally banned. Block Dragon finally banned. The microphone probably peaked so much there that the sound did not probably not record, but about goddamn time. Block Dragon banned. This will definitely take Adamancipators down a huge notch, and they will not be as resilient as they were before. And then again, I was wrong when the Herald of Orange Light was limited to 1, and I thought Drytron was going to be taken out of the picture entirely, but no, somehow they are still managing to fight in spite of all that. But I'm not too worried about Adamancipator completely disappearing from the meta, because Vernacells are like an insane engine that has been that slots into Adamancipator really easily, but they will no longer be as resilient because Block Dragon provides that resilience. So yeah, those are all the bans, and now we're going to move to the limits, semi-limits, and the unlimits. So this is a chunky part of the ban list right here. Holy shit! Oh my god, this is insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin. I just booted up the game and then boom, Banlist update next month. So we'll see you guys there. Oh my god. So the limits, Branded Fusion being limited to 1. So this is gonna I have a very bold prediction where Branded Fusion is going to get the Red Eyes Fusion treatment, because it's like still all over the place. Branded is still like all over the place, because tier limits have been taken down a notch with all of the bans that have been happening to them. So Branded has been getting a resurgence because of the bestial part of the deck. So cutting down Branded Fusion to 1 will, for me at least, it won't really do anything based on what I've seen Branded Bestials have been doing. Although granted, it's an extreme flavor win that Branded and Bestials work well together, because it's part of the lore and whatnot. And it's just right, for them to work well together. So Branded Fusion to 1, that's just a very big consistency hit to the Branded Bestials deck. We're gonna see if they will still be around. I mean, granted, they still have a really good grind game, because they can still end with the Masquerade Dragon and whatnot. So we're gonna see moving forward if they're still gonna be around. But I definitely, for sure, tier elements will no longer be around based on what we're seeing here. But we're gonna see moving forward. And then another limit, that grass looks greener. So this is definitely going to hurt a lot of grass decks moving forward, because you only have the 1. Reasoning, as you guys have seen in my Witchcrafter video, reasoning is just not a good enough replacement for that grass looks greener. This card has warped deck building since the day it was revealed to us and added to the card pool all those years ago, and it's still pretty problematic to this day. And it's just that grass looks greener simply enables way too much shit for a best of 1 format to handle. Milling 20 cards, especially if you draw this turn 1, just milling 20 cards is just an insane amount of advantage that not a lot of decks can truly crawl back from once the opposing player, or hell, even you, get the ball rolling with that. So this will not be missed in the slightest, and I will not be surprised if this gets banned in the future, because Left Arm Offering is still a bitch of a card. And then up next, another card that's going to be limited is Kelbeck. This one I remember because I looked it up beforehand because as I was reading through this FNL update, Kelbeck is the one that bounces. So limited to one, so you only have like one type of interaction left in hand, and then it also mills, of course, because you know all of the Ishizuri trains do that. Kelbeck, with Kelbeck and Agido essentially gone, although Mudora is still in the game, and I keep forgetting who the other one is because there's four of them. Kelbeck being hit to one. These issues to retrains, man, they will not be missing the slightest. Although granted, again, once power creep rears its ugly head again, because we're already quite literally heading towards that route because of Kashtira being introduced into the game now, and then with the Kashtira support coming soon-ish down the line. I'm not exactly sure when it'll come, but I am looking for. I'm not looking forward to that. I should say that. I'm not looking forward to the upcoming format because everything will just be banished. Graveyard decks will be at an all-time low in the upcoming format. So Kelbeck, you will not be missed. And then the two limits here, I'll put them together because these two essentially go in the same deck. Sprite Jet and Swap Frog. This is definitely a big hit to sprites because they use this engine quite a lot. And still surprised that they're not hitting Ronin Toden, although granted you only really use two of that thing, and you never use more than that anymore, and it's just a complete brickfest. But Swap Frog to 1, this guy has been bouncing in and out of the ban list, like in the paper game at least. But Sprite Jet being limited to 1, that definitely hurts the consistency, and then with Swap Frog alongside it, I have been seeing a lot of Sprite decks basically inhaling pure copium at this point. Basically using any and all level 2 water monsters that can easily summon themselves out of the deck, just so that they can do their combos. It's just sad what happened to Sprite at this point. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you love the deck, I mean, more power to you, but good God, man, time to move on. And then the semi-limits, the semi-limits and the unlimits are a very interesting part of this FNL update. First off, Blaster, coming to 2. For me at least, this is like the second weakest of the Dragon Rulers. We simply cannot have Tidal and Redox back into the game because Tidal is a special summon from the deck, I think. I just know that Tidal is a special summon from somewhere, but I do know that Redox is a monster reborn. We simply cannot have those two back in the game, and you know, with Black Dragon being banned, we definitely don't need Redox powering up the Adamantipator deck anymore. So there's that. Blaster, this is a once per turn pop, and with so many things having destruction protection or effect negation these days, having Blaster back at 2 will definitely power up a bunch of firepower decks. So now that I think about it, if they're doing this because of the upcoming Volcanic support that will be out, who knows, probably sometime this year. Granted, I don't really know the release dates for the cards here on Master Duel, so I just play the game. Damn it! I'm not as entrenched as the other content creators here, so there's that. Blaster, good-ish to have you back, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on you. Next up, Pot of Extravagance, being semi-limited. This is going to be interesting. There's definitely going to be a hit to the decks that don't really rely on their extra deck, and they just use pots like this. So thin their deck to basically go deeper into their deck. A lot of control decks rely on Pot of Extravagance because it's just, you know, to filter through their deck and hopefully find the extenders and or answers that they need in order to push their game plan forward. I will not be surprised if Pot of Desires even gets the Banhammer somewhere down the line, but with Sword Soul being at an all-time low, I don't really see that happening really, but you know, we're gonna see. Konami does things weirdly, so who the hell knows what they're gonna do. And then the other semi-limit here, Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. I have no idea why this is still on the Forbidden Limited list. I'm assuming because you basically have a 3/4 powered pendulum, Performapal Pendulum list. You know, with I don't think Monkey Board is legal yet, question mark, but Plush Fire definitely cannot come back. I've seen the combos that that little ice cream cone. I'm pretty sure Plush Fire is just an ice cream cone, or rather a what was that thing called? A snow crush? No, not snow crush. Crushed ice treat or something along those lines. But we definitely cannot have Plush Fire back. Monkey board has been legal in the paper game, if I remember correctly, for quite some time now. But Luster Pendulum, I honestly highly doubt this guy will do anything. Even with Electromite being limited here on Master Duel and with Astrograph Sorcerer being only at 1, uh, and all of the Pendulum decks just doing their thing, they have not managed to crack into like even top contention here on Master Duel. So I am not worried about the slightest about the Thrift Gaming fans out there. They're gonna have to do way, way worse if they want Pendulum to be feared again. And finally, the Unlimits. Nadir Servant, the first one to be unlimited. About why was this even like hit on the ban list in the first place? This is just a holdover from the OCG ban list that Master Duel originally started on, and it has deviated severely from it since then, because of all of the hits that this particular format requires, because it being a best of 1 format. Nadir Servant, you're giving an archetype that has pretty much been power crept out of the game by branded bestials, in Dogmatica. This could I have been seeing the Albazoa Turbo decks around, as a way to just cheese out wins, the same way as the Bish Balkan or hell Rongo Myriad FTKs do it. But if Dogmatica can sort of fight again, I don't see why not. Good to have you back, Nadir Servant, even though you're not a monster, because Nadir Servant sounds like the name of a monster, not a spell card, which is really interesting. Another card that will be unlimited is Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is not surprising in the slightest, because Ancient Fairy Dragon has been errated. If I remember correctly, it's just a once per turn now. I will put up the errated version up on screen, so that you guys know, and then I will put the unerrated version on somewhere on the screen. It's probably somewhere where you guys can see it, so that you can compare the words. Ancient Fairy Dragon is apparently being used in the paper game these days, as part of Manadium combos, of all things. I was one of those people that discounted Manadium at first in the paper game, but apparently it's sort of meta viable because of Ancient Fairy Dragon and other similar synchro support. But otherwise, I am not too worried, because terraforming is banned here on Master Duel. And then finally, Girsu, the Orcus Mech Knight. Why was this even limited in the first place? It has been slowly peeled off of the ban list, and finally seeing him at 3. Again, this is, if I remember correctly, Girsu, the Orcus Mech Knight, is another holdover from the OCG ban list that Master Duel originally started on, same with the Nadir Servant. So seeing him back, we basically have full power Orcus now. Sans a couple of cards, but otherwise, full power Orcus is now viable here on Master Duel. And speaking of, I was gonna play Orcus today, but because Gears of the Orcus Mech Knight is going to come back to us on September 1, I will actually hold off on that. Although, I will tell you guys, even with Girsu, Mech Knight Girsu, semi-limited, I did bring Orcus into the Dark versus Light event, and I have amazing success with that deck. The grind game that Orcus has is still there. It's still there. But I did try bringing it to the rank ladder, bring it up to speed without the restrictions of the Dark vs. Light event. And having just 2 points of interaction is unfortunately not enough. Even with Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, giving it a bit of oomph, just so that you can have an extra pop on top of, what I would do is have both Infinite Impermanence and or Forbidden Droplet as a way to negate monster-based stuff, but you need to be able to do more than that these days. And Orcus, as powerful as they are, unfortunately, their time may have just passed at this point. and that's sad. This is a fan favorite archetype, and they are getting quite possibly their best piece of support back into a format that just shits on the graveyard so much. So yeah, I will be playing a completely different deck today because of all of these updates. Oh boy, Orcust. I'll just see you on September then. But for now, I'll show you guys what I'll be playing today. Okay, we're back, and today I will be playing Spirals. This is one of those decks that not a lot of people are honestly sleeping on for some reason, because we have quite literally full power Spirals here on Master Duel, and yet nobody seems to be playing it. So I built it, and I have great success with it. You guys want to know? I will tell you guys right now. Overview of the deck. Just make combos, and then have Trigate Wizard that points to 3 monsters. That's quite literally it. This one negate is doesn't look like much, but that one negate is usually accompanied by Spiral Sleeper having 2 pops, equipped with a Last Resort so that he will not be easily destroyed, backed up by an Infinite Impermanence that has been laid down, because this deck doesn't exactly draw cards, but it gains a lot of card advantage because a lot of cards in this deck search other cards that search other cards in this deck. Holy shit, why isn't anybody playing this deck? Pure and simple, the simplest explanation I can give as to why people don't play Spirals is because this deck eats a lot of clock. I have never gone through a game using this deck where I did not have less than 100 seconds on the clock. This deck it is not friendly to the timer in the slightest. That's what I think is the primary reason why people do not play this deck at all. It's because it takes way too long for it to set up its combos. I would go over the card by card, but this video is going to be long enough as it is because I had to explain the Forbidden Limited list. So I will highly likely just go over the nitty-gritty of it at the end of this video, that's where I will do the deck profile. But hopefully what I said gives you a good idea of what the end board, at least, of this deck is going to be on. Just Sleeper, Trigate Wizard, and hopefully some back row. So I'll just see you guys in the duels. Well, the thing about a go first deck is, or rather a very hard go first deck is, this deck doesn't play too well from behind, especially if your opponent manages to set up their board properly and whatnot. But we're facing off against a quite possibly this a Tearlament deck. Yeah, this is the one that I keep forgetting. It's Keldo. All right. Akido and Kelbeck are gonna get like axed like severely soon. So I'm assuming this player is just getting their money's worth out of just before the Banlist update comes, and they milled over our Fusion Destiny. So our Destroyer Phoenix and Force Alliance have been cut off from us. Hell, they even like been a denier. So that's definitely gonna hurt us for our actions moving forward. Although the thing about the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer engine, at least with the version that I have with Denier and Malicious, it's honestly even minus the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, the Denier Malicious part of the deck is honestly a good enough like link engine. It's a 3-card link 3, and for me at least, that's honestly good enough. And we have a pretty stacked hand, all things considered. Assuming, of course, they don't set up beyond this, because usually negating Kit Kalos is enough to stop a Tearlament turn from ever hitting the stratosphere and whatnot. But I'm assuming them stopping right now is going to be the end of the turn. But otherwise, I'll just see you guys at the beginning of... nope, they are still going. So we will see you guys at my opponent's end board. Okay, we're back. And my opponent ended on Bagoo. How do you say that you screwed up my turn without saying you screwed up my turn? You end on Bagoo. So we will be drawing 3 cards. Or quite possibly, at the very least, just 1. Because they have a Bagoo. They will highly likely set it to attack position so that they will be able to combo off. But otherwise, we will not be able to do too much, unfortunately. We could potentially die next turn because we don't have any interaction whatsoever in hand. And we need to be able to have a discard outlet so that we can do our combos. We're just gonna get a drone just to deck thin a bit here. Highly likely they still have a monster at the top of their deck, so the one that I do not mind sending to the dogs here is drone. But quick fix does special summon himself, so there's that. We will not activate quick fix because we have a Baguska on board. Okay, so we're gonna do the ugly spiral combo line here by using link monsters. There we go. We will not be able to do too much because of the Baguska, and we do not have any negates whatsoever. I cannot activate quick fix because of Baguska. Great. We'd better name this one right then. Monstacado. Is it a monster card on the top of your deck, good sir? Please let me be correct. Please let me be correct. Is it Monstacado? No, I will not be able to do too much. Opponent, please have mercy. I will not be able to do too much because of what you're doing here. Yes, it's a Monstacado. Okay, we'll get Super Agent. Yes, I know he will be set to defense. You draw your one. Go. Activate the effect. Sure. Attempt to pop, but it's negated by Baguska anyway, so that's completely fine. Oh, now you're gonna tell me that I can use quick fix. Why? Discard. Oh, because I need to control a super agent. All right, cool. In that case, we're gonna use quick fix and we're gonna discard master plan. Yep. Again, that's going to be the really ugly spiral combo line. Again, we will not activate quick fix because our effects are negated anyway. I could go into double helix. I could. I really could. I honestly should, all things considered, but we simply need a monster to be able to hit over Baguska so that we can combo off even harder. And honestly, I do not mind using Unicorn here. No, now that I think about it, yeah, we should just do that. Because this deck has a lot of like ways to recover anyway, so I guess we're fine here. So there's that. Unicorn. Use your effect. We will discard... I think we should just discard the Super Agent, or we discard the drone. I think we should just discard the drone. Then, as much as I want to return Baguska, we should actually return Kit Kalos. Or, we can return the back row. I mean, Baguska is not going to be able to hit over Unicorn anyway, but Kit Kalos can. And Baguska also hurts them as much as it hurts me. So, yeah, I think I should just send their Kit Kalos. Or, that could... Alright, that does trigger their Sulik. So, that means they really need their Baguska on board so for them to be able to do their thing here. Although, I could hit over... oh, wait, no. He's going to send Kit Kalos and then they'll be able to combo from there. Then, in that case, I'll just leave Baguska on board then. Yeah, negate Unicorn all you want. That's completely fine by me. Then Kit Kalos, yeah, does her thing, and then graveyard stuff occurs, and I'll just see you guys at the beginning, or I was gonna say at the beginning of my opponent's turn, but no, this combo is gonna take a while because they will sort of combo off, but they will not really be able to realize their quote-unquote full potential because this terribly tired tapir is stopping all monster effects. So I'll just see you guys at the next interesting point. Okay, so small update here. My opponent... Ooh! You want a card that will force your opponent to do shit that they should not be... That they should be regretfully doing? That's one of them. Although, I think at this point we should just get Last Resort. And we will force their shit by using Sleeper here. Although, we could go for... Super Agent first, and then get rid of either Sulik or the unknown back row. Yeah, we're gonna bait it out here. They still have a lot of cards in their deck. It's honestly still good to call Monster, because Tear Laments have a lot of monsters in their deck. And we are correct! Okay. And then trigger Super Agent, because they no longer have much. They don't have now that I think about it, Sulik doesn't actually work because they need to. Oh wait, no, it just sends any monster. Oh wait, no, if you control a tier elements monster or a Starfrost, target an effect monster. Yeah, we'll just destroy the unknown here. That will highly likely force an action out of my opponent. Okay, using heartbeat. All right, cool. That's definitely what I wanted them to do. And then with I think that's Scareclaw. In the wait, what did they shuffle in? Oh, they shuffled in the resort. That is interesting. You shuffled in the resort and said, "All right," because they can't target my shit because of the resort. I forgot that does that. I forgot that resort does that. Holy shit. Target of most place predator counter. Okay, I forgot that resort gives targeting protection. Whoa. Oh boy, I think I don't know how hard we can pop off here. I will definitely try to do. Ooh, actually no, I can still make sleeper here. Yeah, if I send the super agent to the graveyard plus another thing, yeah, we're still gonna do this. Damn it, we're gonna save sleeper as much as possible. No, we do not want that. Not that one just yet. We're gonna see if we can combo off here. Just some minor stuff. We're gonna bait. I'm doing all this to get Zeus to do his thing, force him to minus the hell out of his board rather than mine. Okay, he is still not doing it. We're gonna try to combo off now, if we even can. Okay, yep, forcing Dragostapelia, yep. Should place it becomes a level 1, but unfortunately it does not, well, it does have a predator counter, so it doesn't combo off as hard, so we're gonna do this. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunate that we had to banish all of those, but here we go. Spiral Sleeper. That's if that doesn't force you to go into Zeus, I don't know what will. Come on, opponent. Oh, come on. He still does. Okay, fine. If you're not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it when I activate Last Resort. That's going to give me free reign in popping your shit here. Come on, opponent. Do it. I know you want to. I know you want to wipe the board with Zeus. Come on, opponent. Ooh. Still not. He's allowing that. Oh my god. So he's basically going to allow his board to die. And my laptop is suddenly slowing down. Oh my god. I think it's pretty hot right now. Yeah, it's pretty hot. Either that or it's just the internet slowly failing me here. It's always one of those two things. Yeah, that was a very big lag spike for a few seconds there. Yes, we will select another card. I will destroy his Zeus. There we go. Will that force you? Alright, cool. Everybody dies! Yay! So I'll just see you guys at the next interesting point. Although, granted, my opponent does have shit on board, or rather has 3 cards in hand, so they have a better shot at recovering first before I do. So who knows what will happen. I'll just see you guys there. My opponent is making me go first, and I ultimately lost the previous duel because my opponent just summoned 3 monsters and attacked me for game. So there's that. But this is horrifying because my opponent made me go first. So this is a deck that wanted to go second, but apparently did not get what they needed. So let's check what their deck was. Okay, we're here at my opponent's deck, and it's apparently a 44 card Dogmatica deck, and with a lot of one-offs. Everything's a one-off here. Why do you have an Odd-Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon? Is this just ritual material? I guess I would assume so. But yeah, this entire line here, it's just all one-offs, and then everything else is just an engine to get to possibly Albazoa. Yeah, this is just Albazoa. I'm assuming this is just Albazoa Turbo, and then the Dogmatic engine is just all here to search the pieces necessary to make Albazoa, and then yeah, just one Dogmatica Punishment. Why not just max out on Dogmatica Punishment? God damn, I do not like the one of Dark Ruler No More, Lightning Storm, Feather Duster. God, is this a budget deck? If this is a budget deck, then you are going about it wrong. for me at least. You could do better with this. Oh my god. Let's just move on to the next duel. Well, my opponent is gonna go first. That's always a horrifying prospect. Our hand is decent. We have... Yeah, the thing about the spiral missions, I always wondered why they would have the spiral missions in the deck, even though they are too slow. It's because of the last line of text. It's always you can ban both of the spiral missions in this deck. They both essentially they say the same thing. Banish this card from the graveyard. Special summon a spiral monster from somewhere. Spiral mission assault is special summons from the hand, and spiral mission rescue, I believe, the continuous trap, special summons from the graveyard. Are we gonna have to check our opponent's deck again, or they? Oh, my opponent's internet failed them, so we don't necessarily need to check their deck, but I'm curious nonetheless. You guys won't see it, but I will, because I don't see why not. I mean, sometimes internet connections are an issue, depending on the region you're playing in, and I guess I'm assuming my opponent's Korean, but I don't know. It's sometimes wrong to assume. We'll just move on to the next one before I say anything out of whack. Finally won a die roll for once, so that's a refreshing change of pace. And our hand is... Well, this isn't exactly shitty, because these two, Assault and Rescue, could potentially be special summons that we desperately need. What do we got here? This is honestly the Spiral experience. Because combos with this deck take so goddamn long that people do not want to sit through it, and you cheese wins this way. But for opponents that do sit through it, and I hope I will be able to capture it here on this recording, because I have done it off cam, like I think 4 times at this point, because more often than not, once I summon any spiral, my opponents just surrender because they do not want to sit through spiral combos. But a win is a win, especially in Diamond. Yes, I am on Diamond 5 as I play this deck, and I'm confident in the fact that this deck will at least get me to Diamond 3. If not this, then the Runic deck that I have been kicking around in. But yeah, a win is a win. Next duel. I win 1 die roll and I've been losing the last 4. Oh my god. The variance in this game is amazing sometimes. We have absolutely no interaction whatsoever. Because of the way that spirals work, more often than not, you don't really have much room for tech cards. You only really have 6 slots, all things considered. And those 6 slots are like the defensive tools, like Maxi or hell, even Triple Tactics Talent. But otherwise, this is a banger opening hand if I went first. But Castiras and Tearlaments making the meta tag team here, you know, before Tearlaments get like gutted into oblivion. Oh my god. So I'm not gonna make you guys sit through this. I will be the one to sit through this. So I'll just see you guys and my opponent's end board. Okay, we're back, and Abyss Dweller is about as good a card as any to stop my shenanigans here. Although, because of the wording of Abyss Dweller, we can't activate cards from the graveyard, but that does not mean we can't use revival effects. So there's that. We can't do the malicious line unless we somehow find a way to negate Abyss Dweller here. Wow, who did they mill over? Oh, they milled over Master Plan. Huh. I wasn't exactly paying attention to their board, but to what they were doing, but they even milled a red reboot. Holy shit. So they milled over a Master Plan. That is interesting. So we're gonna use Big Red now, and we'll see if they if this trips their Rurkalos over. Yes, it does. All right, now we just have to contend with the Abyss Dweller and whatever cards in hand that they could potentially have here. All right, so Big Red is out of the way, sends Merly, and then they will do their comboing on my turn. And then I'm assuming they will. Although I'm assuming they will not go for Squid Heart just yet because I do not have a board state to speak of. Although, okay, going into Kit Kalos, sure. I'm assuming Kit Kalos activate effect, and then she sends herself or Rule Kalos so that she can. No, Rule Kalos is gonna use each of the following effects. Yeah, Rule Kalos' effect is only once per turn, so she will not be able to do this again at least. Yeah, because of the check mark here. Yeah, the effect was used this turn. Alright, I'm assuming Kit Kalos will just send herself as she searches her thing. So we only really have to contend with Abyss Dweller here. Let's see what the let's see if our opponent has any hand interruption here, or else we're gonna pop off pretty goddamn hard. Alright, the Ash Blossom on Quick Fix is good because they don't know that I have machine duplication. I'm actually honestly surprised that most builds don't have machine dupe in their list. This is like just an insane. Sure, that's completely fine because I have backups. You using it on that? Sure, I have backups. Thanks. One for one. I will send malicious. Okay. What level 1 do I want? I mean, just getting quick fix is always the correct choice here. By the way, quick fix has no once per turns on it whatsoever. God damn this card. Oh my god. I playing with this deck like the past couple of weeks has made me realize just how insanely busted spirals were way back when. And even way back when they had, if I remember correctly, they had like summon sorceress at one point, if I remember correctly, but I have to brush up on my history on Yu-Gi-Oh! Because my laptop is slowing down again. It just cannot handle the awesome power of spirals, or we're being hacked by a quick fix here. But we're gonna see. I want to capture this combo on camera. God damn it. Otherwise, it's probably just a little too hot. We're gonna wait a bit. Assuming my oh dear. Oh, there we go. We only have very few targets left in the deck anyway. Yeah, we're gonna get Utility Wire. That's always what I'm gonna get. If this keeps going, I may have to surrender eventually. Or, you know, we just cut to the next duel because I ran out of time. Every time my laptop goes like this, it's never a good time. So yeah, to spare you guys the pain and to spare myself the pain, either we skip to the next duel if this becomes too unbearable, or, you know, I think I'll just go into a deck profile because it's pretty hot right now. Both the ambient air around me plus my laptop. Yeah, this bad boy is like close to 7 years old by this point, and I'm gonna show it some bit of mercy. I'll see you guys there. Okay, so I took a little break so that I can give my laptop some breathing room, and we're gonna see if I just want to capture the spiral combo on camera at least once so that you guys know. But otherwise, if I'm going second against what I assume is some variant of Kashtira, I will have a very, very hard time doing so. Although they are rocking the punk sleeves, so this could literally be a hybrid of the two. But we're gonna see. Okay, it is a hybrid of Punk and Kashtira, so I have absolutely no idea what they're gonna do, so I'll just take a quick 2-minute nap while my opponent does their thing. We'll see you guys at my opponent's end board. Okay, we're back, and the whole time I was expecting my opponent to end on Psychic End Punisher, but no, they ended on Shangri-Ira, Baron de Fleur, and I assume Punk Dragon is just a searcher, if I remember correctly. No, it's just a big monster. It's just a really big monster. And then it summons Fenrir. Yep, just another piece of interaction, plus 3 pieces of back row that I have to contend with. I have no faith that I will be able to fight through this, so I'll just commit Sudoku here, and we'll move on to the next duel. I just want to capture the spiral combo at least once on cam. Is that really so hard to ask? This is a good opening hand if I went first, but I keep losing the goddamn die rolls today. So we're gonna see. Pot of Extravagance, good to see you. Still at 3. You'll be at 2 in 2 weeks. Oh my god, what is my opponent? Fuck you! Oh my god. See, this is why I have a love-hate relationship with Master Duel. Because only in Master Duel can you be on the, well, Diamond is now like the middle, is like close to near the top of the meta game at this point. But oh wait, no, we still can't win combat here. All things considered, we can't special summon. We can still search, but we will always lose combat, which is interesting. Although, we may stand a chance. We may stand a chance. So here's what we're gonna do. We can't special summon anyway, so yeah, I think, well, this will prevent them from being targeted. Okay, we're gonna try. Super Agent. Do you have a response? Nothing. All right. We're gonna use Resort to search, because this adds any monster, and Last Resort is technically a monster. Then we will equip Last Resort onto Super Agent, and then we're gonna see what happens here, because Super Agent can't be destroyed, question mark. Yeah, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, so we will take 100 damage. Okay, so if they're gonna play this game, that means we will literally stare at each other. Sure, resolve. Go destroy yourself. I don't care. I've done what I needed to do. I'm basically doing what he does, except I don't lock out special summons. If he could have a way to get rid of this lock at any point, because his backup could very well represent any of the removal tools that stun has. But otherwise, we will keep staring at each other until somebody breaks the lock. So I'll see. I will not make you guys sit through this. I mean, of all of the things that I will not make you guys sit through, this is definitely the biggest offender of them. Okay. So I'll just see you guys at the next interesting point. Okay. So small update. I keep forgetting that Drone, his 500 attack boosts the monster for each card. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is a 2,000 attack boost that can attack directly thanks to Last Resort. This is an insane way to break parity, and I have no idea if my stun opponent even realizes how dead they're gonna be dead in 2 turns if they don't do anything about this. And Last Resort, I believe, also protects, yeah, it also protects Super Agent from targeting. So if they cannot resolve this, they are dead. I have found a way to take that stun. Oh my god, I cannot believe I out-cheesed the cheese strategy. Holy shit. Next duel. Almost forgot to turn on the microphone there. So let's see. Our opening hand. Again, all of my opening hands in this recording are all really good going first cards, but I keep losing the goddamn die rolls. I think Master Duel is on to me here. Oh my god! Although it's nice to see my opponent having matching fields to me, and we're facing off against Tearlaments. What variant? I have no idea. Although it's an extra thick Tearlament deck, so this is highly likely a grass version or a Tearlament deck combined with some other archetype. That will allow them to create even more negates. Okay, it's Tearlaments and branded with a... What the fuck is this doing in here? I'll just take a 2-minute nap while my opponent does their... Oh dear, they managed to mill over Sleeper. I don't know if we'll even be able to retrieve that. Although we could win by my opponent's internet connection failing them, but otherwise I'll just take a 2-minute nap while my opponent combos off. See you guys at the end of my opponent's board. Okay, we're back, and my opponent ended on... I'm honestly disappointed that this is all that they could do in their 60-card deck. They did manage to go, like, dig through almost 20 cards, but we drew quite possibly one of the best starters we have in this deck, Magician's Souls. Oh god, this is basically Foolish Burial for her master plan, nothing else. And also as a way to bait out whatever negations they could potentially have here. Granted, Tearlaments, yeah, okay, yeah, do your thing, opponent. This could draw them into more interaction, assuming their internet holds up, because I've at least been observing that their internet connection is notwithstanding here. Okay, activating their Sulik now, which is interesting. So, okay. So they're just flipping it face up, and then they're going to I'm going to see if I can shotgun their negations here, because there are only two of them at the moment. But because of me being under max C, this could end very, very badly. So we're just going to send that, and we will attempt to draw one card. If this will trigger either Sulik or Dragostapeli here. I have heard some people pronounce this differently. It's not Sulik, it's Suliek. I don't know. I just think Sulik is a smoother way to say that name, although we don't have any official confirmation from Konami themselves, so who knows how this word is really pronounced. I did make them use an Ash Blossom, so that's a once per turn that's out of the picture. Now we actually don't need to use a normal summon at all. We don't need to use a normal summon here. We're gonna get Quick Fix. We're gonna normal summon Quick Fix here. Get Quick Fix. There we go. Then we will use Quick Fix. We will get Drone. And then once we use Drone, we will get Super Agent down. Alright, cool. That's mucho grande to me, good sir. Oh my god, this is really, really good. Really, really good. I am chewing through their negations like a hot knife through butter. There, I got the idiom correct this time. Oh, okay, sending Kit Kalos. Yep, I'm getting your own combo train going. Sure. I still have, I can still punch through some things here. They already used their Sulik this turn, so yeah, they're now just going to do their mills, and now the only thing Sulik can do is it's in graveyard effect, yeah, and then they have one unknown back row here, and then they milled over Agido. Good fucking riddance to this card. What does it do? That special summon this card from me. Yeah, it just special summons itself from the hand, and then if it's in the hand or graveyard, yeah, it just mills 5. that's all it does. It milled the other Quick Fix over, I think. Well, both master plans are in the graveyard now, so that's something we're not getting anytime soon. So there's only one other in the graveyard, so ugh. This is not good. The mills have been good for my opponent, although at the very least we don't need to worry about master plan anymore, so that's always fine. And then they have shit in here. I'm assuming they're going to use like Squid Heart here, so that they can shuffle away one of these two bodies on board, so that I will not be able to link climb too hard. Although I am, well, it will not be surprising if they do that, because if there's something I learned about playing this deck is hell, even with other, oh god, that's even worse. Oh my god. Okay, opponent, well played. You got a Masquerade down, sure. He has still not used Dragostepelia's negation, so I think we're just dead here. Masquerade is gonna kill us before Maxi does, and I have no idea how we're going to fight through this unless the Quick Fix that we have in hand manages to get us to search the Last Resort. And oh god, Last Resort is even in the graveyard. Yeah, I do not like my prospects for this duel, so either we skip to the next one, or we'll just go to the next interesting point. So we'll see you guys there. Finally won the die roll, so let's see if we have a decent go first hand, and this is a decent go first hand. All right, I'm gonna see if I can finally show off a full spiral combo against my opponent's 45 card deck. So we could potentially have an Ash Blossom or a Maxi somewhere in that mix. So we're gonna find out now. All right, Magician's Souls is one of those rare times where we'll use the draw effect. Okay, we'll discard that. That is a revival effect that we can use much later. Let's see here. We will just draw the one card. Come on, opponent. It's just a draw one. You don't need to Ash Blossom this. This is Spiral. We could literally have anything. Either that or my opponents is like literally reading all the cards for the first time because, well, they're like, what the fuck is this spiral deck? Okay, sure. Infinite impermanence on that. That is an infinite impermanence that is not targeted towards anything else that I have on board. Do I do this now, or do I just save my specials? Do I save my special summon chains for later? I think it's better to do this now. Okay, quick fix. Do your thing. No, I do not want to use that one just yet. Do we use Big Red now, knowing that we have Rescue in the graveyard? I don't think so. We're gonna use Drone here. And then after using Drone, we're going to summon Linkuriboh. Okay. Then after we do the Linkuriboh thing, my opponent surrenders because they have absolutely no patience. Oh wait, they didn't surrender, but their connection failed. I think that's a legitimate disconnect, or either that or they just don't want to sit through spiral combos. I just want to capture the combo on cam, just the one time game, the one time. I just want to capture it on cam. How hard is that? Just we'll keep trying, damn it. We'll move on to the next duel. Okay, won the die roll again. Hopefully I managed to pull off the combo this time. We at least have quick fix, but everything else in our hand is like all answers. So this is going to be one of those hands where we play with very, very tight margins. So we got a quick fix here. Assuming my opponent has an Ash Blossom because they are rocking Effect Veiler even. Alright, good thing we have a Called by the Grave to negate that. Okay. So we'll be able to do our quick fix thing here. Yes, no, I don't want to activate the second Call by the Grave. That is for much, much later. Assuming my opponent is on a Sky Striker deck of some kind. Okay, then quick fix does his thing. Again, we will be operating on really tight margins here, so we're going to get Big Red. And then we'll use Linkuriboh here. Unfortunately, we need super agents so that quick fix can revive himself. So we are forced to use Big Red here so that we can revive quick fix. There we go. Then quick fix, activate effect. We will add. Well, we don't have a way to. We don't have a way to any of our other shit right now, unfortunately. So I think we'll just add Drone for next turn. And then we will end with DPE and pass, unfortunately. This isn't the spiral combo that I wanted, but our hand at least has a lot of ways to stop my opponent from doing too much to us here. So there's that. So Vertsmagertz does his thing. Fusion Destiny. We will summon DPE here using the Denier in our hand plus one of the Malleys in the graveyard. So we'll summon DPE in defense position, yes, out of respect for Lightning Storm, and then we will set 2 cards. And hopefully these 3 points of interaction are more than enough. So again, this is why I love Called by the Grave. We should honestly just get this to 3 and or ban Called by the Grave and then have Crossout Designator instead, because Crossout Designator is honestly a much weaker version, in my opinion, to Called by the Grave. Because Crossout Designator only stops it for that turn, while Called by the Grave stops the effect all the way until it comes back around to you. So I prefer that over Crossout Designator. Although Crossout Designator is a lot more flexible in what it can hit, but it totally depends on the format. Sending Ray. I think this is the part where we pop it. I think this is wrong, but my spider senses are tingling here. Alright, it forced them to do that at least, so very good Called by the Grave bait. So there's that. I have played against Sky Striker enough to know exactly where the choke points are. Sort of. I again, in case I haven't already told this story, I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh around the tail end of TOS format in the TCG. So it was all Thunder Dragon, Orcus, and Sky Striker, and I was playing trains, either that or Unchained. It's one of those two decks. But okay, so we're gonna see what else is gonna happen here. Of course, we'll destroy airspace. That will force them to do something. Yeah, send from by a card effect. Special summon a Sky Striker from the deck. Sure, that's fine. At least it doesn't do its other effect here. Yeah, target another. Yeah, it doesn't allow. At least it doesn't dig them through the deck, which is something that we honestly prefer. But they will just need to hard link summon into I'm assuming Kaina. If not Kaina, just straight into Shizuku or Kagari. We're gonna see what my opponent does here. All right, yeah, just not Kaina, Hayate, because Kaina is just like a one of usually in these decks. Okay. I'm assuming he's going to try to attack directly. I will save the infinite impermanence for Shizuku because going for Verte Anaconda. I mean that makes sense. Okay, yep. Send the Sky Striker, sure. I'm assuming they will go for Shizuku. Okay, yep. Getting mobilized, engaged, sure, that's fine. Okay, so they will go into Kagari. Then after Kagari, they will go into Shizuku. But I will stop them from using Kagari in the first place. All right. Yeah, that's also another choke point that Sky Strikers have, and honestly have not been able to solve to this day, solely because of infinite impermanence. All right, cool. I will not allow you to get mobilized engage, good sir. Unfortunate. Okay. Unless you have like what was that? Shark Cannon? No, Shark Cannon is the one that banishes. The one that grants protection from targeting or makes your Sky Strikers immune to effects. I don't remember the name of that thing, but it features Rei in like a jetpack suit thing, and then she's flying around. I don't remember the name of that card, but that's what it does. It grants protection. All right, cool. This will force them to go into Shizuku because Kagari has been negated. That will force them to go into the Shizuku shuffle early. Yep, yeah, rather than just go into Mobilize Engage because that card is busted as fuck. So although we do only have one card in hand, although we do have a DPE at the ready here, unless they have like Shark Cannon here, which will just banish the DPE. But we shall see. We don't have much, unfortunately, in the way of a graveyard here. It's just mostly gas and the DPE engine. Oh dear, setting a back row. So yeah, doing the Shizuku thing. All right, cool. I have no idea what else my opponent's gonna be up to, so we're gonna see here. What else? What else could you possibly have? I'm assuming he's just going to set one of the other quick play spells that they have in the deck, because Sky Strikers have a lot of that. Okay, yeah, Shark Cannon, that's cool. Not setting it. Using it right away. Yeah, just banishing DPE. That's completely understandable, unless you realize that you played it in the imperm column. I think my opponent threw a scoop of shame. We're gonna keep playing until we're gonna keep going with this recording until at least I capture one decent oh god, I blanked on the second. I blanked for a second there. Until we capture a decent spiral combo montage of sorts here. All right, so we move on to the next duel. Going first, so let's see how hard my opponent's gonna stop me from doing my thing. And actually, this is a decent opening hand, all things considered. We can send one of the extra super agents, and then we have a 1-for-1 as a recovery. Although this is a tight 40 card deck, so I like my odds here. I like a challenge. So let's see here. Drone, do your thing. Rearrange the top 3 cards of my opponent's deck, if my opponent even allows it. Yep, Maxine right here, right now. That is completely fine. At the very least, I can set up the second card on top. What the fuck? What the fuck? So at least I can guarantee a trap card. So I can put the second from the top, or I can use Swords of Concealing instead. Huh. Yeah, I can allow him to do that. Yeah, I can make him play one turn slower. So there's that. Do that. Then we'll summon the Super Agent. We will call Spell. No, wait. How did I arrange it? Let's review that. Effect resolution. Drone reveal hand. Effect resolution. Oh, it doesn't show us how we resolved that. That is interesting. All right. Um, if I'm doing this correctly. Oh wait, no. He will only summon himself if he. Yeah, I think we should call Trap because that's the one that I revealed. Yes, all right, cool. That was correct. All right, so I need to call it right first so that he can special summon himself. All right, I think we got this. So we will get Drone and Super Agent. We will summon Double Helix, and I know that there's another spell card, and I will call that one right. Because I know it's another spell card. Yep, it's the Called by the Grave. And now we are going to be walking in blind from here. So we'll get the quick fix. Yes, we will summon it to the field into a zone that Double Helix points to. Then quick fix activates an effect. We will get. We already have a big red in hand, unfortunately, so we may not need that one anymore. We will get another drone. Yeah, we'll get another drone. Yeah, we get another drone. Again, I keep forgetting that this deck is not very clock friendly, so we need to act and think fast here. Okay, and we will send the extra Super Agent to the graveyard. Oh no, why is my laptop slowing down here at all points? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it, my little war machine. You can do it. Come on. We just need to show off one combo at least. There we go. All right. Special summon a level 1. I think we'll just summon. We'll summon another drone because or we can always just summon another quick fix, but I think summoning another drone is correct here, so that we at least have information as to what my opponent is drawing. Oh dear, my laptop is slowing down. Come on, we need to show off this combo at least once. There we go. If we run out of time, I will be extremely sad. There we go. We'll make them draw. Ooh, this is a Dragon Link combo. All right. We will bury the no, not that one. Come on. There we go. 1, 2, yeah, 2, 3. There we go. We'll bury that there, and then no, I don't want that one just yet. We will use Big Red to special summon back the Super Agent. There we go. So that's that. Then we will get Trigate Wizard. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 monsters. Point 1. Then we have a Co-Link and Double Helix and Trigate Wizard. And now to do the gross thing that this deck is very known for. Okay, we'll discard the drone. We do this. Then the quick fix does his thing, and I just realized that I will not be able to do what I think I could do. Although I don't think I normal summoned just yet. Question mark. I don't think I normal summoned yet. We're gonna find out soon enough. We'll banish the other drone. Yeah, Big Red is only once per turn, so that's safe to banish. Then we'll add the Super Agent. And then... oh god, we did already normal summon this turn. Alright, so we at least have something resembling a plan here. We could just have this. Or, well, having something that only deals in that aspect is unfortunately not Gucci in the slightest, so we can just do this. We'll just end on DP and then pass. That's unfortunate. We didn't have enough material. That's really unfortunate. Quick fix. No, it's just a drone. All right, cool. We don't have super agent in double helix, so utility wire is going to do what it needs to do. Right. This isn't the combo that I wanted to show off, but this is the bare minimum you guys should expect out of creating a spiral board. So yeah, just a pop, just once per. Although this is a pop that comes back every other turn, and then utility wire is one of those removal tools that I find that a lot of people are honestly sleeping on. Although it does feature like a spiral tough here, rather than super agent. Yeah, I knew he had swords of concealing light. Oh dear, I forgot that happens. So yeah, I cannot change their battle positions. So I'll need a way to pop Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer here. Although it does remove the effect of him not doing his thing. Yeah, that's completely fine. Until he targets double helix, I will not trigger utility wire here. So let's see what my opponent is gonna do here. I did make them draw like 20 cards in their deck. So let's see how hard my opponent's gonna go off here. So changeover, doing its thing. Come on, opponent. What are you gonna do? I'm assuming he's just going to summon like a Shaw, more than any of the other dragons. And then yeah, forcing the negation here, and I'm assuming they're going to negate this. And then we're just gonna move on to the next duel, because this much card advantage, the amount of card advantage I've given them, they'll probably just find a way to kill me here. So we'll just see you guys at the next one. Okay, we're here at the end screen, and as try as I might, I simply cannot capture a spiral combo, rather the ideal spiral end board in all of the duels that I've been recording for like almost 3 hours now by this point. So it's probably just for another time. So we're here at the end screen, and as I promised, we will go into the nitty-gritty of this deck by giving you a card by card and as to why my ratios are the way they are. Now, more often than not, when you look up a spiral deck list for Master Duel, it's usually 60 cards. I don't know why people cannot just trim it down to what you see here. This is like decent enough as is. I don't know why you would need 20 more cards just to be able to do your thing. Pure-ish spirals are good enough that as you can see, as I've played off cam, unfortunately, and didn't see on recording here, it can stand on its own without adding too much fat into the deck. So to go over the ratios, 3 quick fix. This is mandatory in the deck. Some builds only play 2, some only play 1. I don't know why you would only play the 1, but I'm assuming you're only playing less than the 3. It's because you don't have machine duplication, and some decks, or rather some builds, don't even have machine duplication anymore. I don't know why, but everything written on this card, as you can see, the effects on normal or special, just get the spiral gear. Some of the traps, as we can see here, we're gonna put it up on the side here. Yeah, that's mission, yeah, gear. I'm showing this gear. Yeah, this is mission. Yeah, spirals are so only like 3 hits. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. What? This is also a gear, so 4. So there are 5 hits with quick fix, and I don't know why some builds don't have more than why some builds don't even max out on him, because none of his effects are once per turn. Quick fix, none of the stuff he has written on him is once per turn. Basically, any time that you can bring him back, he just a search, and the amount of card advantage that this guy does is it's simply insane. I've had games where I would be able to search like 4 times in just one turn, thin my deck by that much, basically leaving behind only gas in the deck, or basically the non spiral stuff in the deck. Once Quick Fix has done its job, and hell, if the search is not bad enough, he also has a non once per turn revival from the graveyard. Although it does need a couple of things going your way. You basically need a super agent on board, and then you need to be able to discard a card. And of course, he banishes himself when he leaves the field. But that doesn't matter if you have more than one way to revive him out of the graveyard. There's the reason this guy was banned for the longest time, and by this point, he's still honestly really good. There are like link monsters that have revival effects that allow you to get low level monsters out of the graveyard. And thank God Summon Sorceress is banned, because good God, she is just she does not need to come back into the game at all. Because she also summons from the deck, by the way. So there's that. Quick Fix, for me, at least, is a mandatory 3 of. Up next is Spiral Gear Drone. This, alongside Super Agent, is what sets up the deck sort light manipulation for the deck for your opponent. Spiral Gear Drone is also another, for me at least, is also another mandatory trade. Some decks don't even play this at all. I don't know why, but as you guys saw in the stun game, the attack boost is permanent. It doesn't go away, and it counts per card your opponent controls. So if your opponent has like a full 11 cards on field, that's like 5500 attack boost for your spiral monster. And he also recycles super agents, and same with Quick Fix. None of Drone's effects are once per turn, so you can keep rearranging it and keep triggering Super Agent as much as you want. And then speaking of Super Agent, here he is. This is the James Bond of the archetype. Spiral Tough is like the a lot of people say that he's highly underrated, although in this day and age, for me at least, he is honestly not necessary anymore. So Super Agent, this is like, some people have reinforcements of the army just so they can fish him out of the deck even better. But for me, reinforcements of the army is not necessary for this deck, because he is only a secondary plan. You can actually honestly just bump this down to 1 if you so desire. In fact, I'm gonna do that now. You can only you only really need the 1 Super Agent, because of how often you can recycle everything else using the other stuff that you have in here. And if he's banished, that's like no skin off your back, because the most important spiral monsters in your deck anyway are Master Plan and Sleeper. You only really need the 1 Super Agent anyway. And the information that Drone gives is like just cherry on top. So yeah, Super Agent, you only sometimes you need the 3, because he also acts as spell trap removal, which is probably why you need 3. But honestly, by the time you've set up your board properly, you won't really need the spell trap removal. The amount of stuff that this deck has to be able to chew through back row based removal is simply insane. And having only the 1 Super Agent, although you will feel it a bit, but having a 40 card deck, just to make this deck as tight as possible, for me at least, is worth its weight. And then last resort, this is again, as the name implies, it's only a last resort. Use this to equip to any of your spirals, by the way. I have had games where I would equip Last Resort to Quick Fix and set him to defense position, and my opponent could not out it. because of stuff like Resort protecting your spiral cards as well. Last Resort is not so easily removed. It needs to be banish based, so that they will be able to get rid of whatever defense wall you're going to use with Last Resort. Although more often than not, you would equip Last Resort to Sleeper so that he will not be able to destroy himself, so that he cannot be destroyed by his own quick effect pop here. Otherwise, yeah, Last Resort is as the name implies, it's a last resort, and although it does grant some really nice protection, so keep that in mind. And then Master Plan, 2 copies. Some builds only have the 1. I prefer to have the 2. As I've experienced, I'm playing this deck off camera. Having the 2 is a necessity just in case one is banished. So there's that. Her last effect, where if she's sent from the field to the graveyard, you add a resort and a monster from deck to hand. This is a once per turn, but what isn't a once per turn is her effect to search any of the spiral missions, and there are only two in the deck, but some builds run a full boatload of 3 spiral mission rescue. Because this is a by the way, the last line of text for spiral mission rescue, it's also not once per turn, it's only a soft once per turn, so per copy it's only a once per turn. Like the amount of non once per turns in this deck is just simply insane, and I don't know why a lot of people are sleeping on this deck still. Same with MBT, people with people sleeping on windups. I personally think a lot of people are sleeping on spirals, but again, the biggest problem spiral has is it's not very clock friendly. You will always be down to the last 100 seconds by the time you set up sleeper on board. And sleeper here, as you can see, only a one-off because he is extremely bricky. Otherwise, you need to banish 3 spiral cards from your graveyard. Usually the drones or the quick fixes, although if it even ends up there, or having the spare super agents, or rather the spare super agent, or the big reds. This only a once per turn revival anyway, so it's fine banishing those. But otherwise, yeah, once he has been special summoned properly, you can bring him back using other means. And then if he does manage to get destroyed, you do have to destroy as many cards you control as possible. And then if you do, you can special summon a super agent straight from the deck or graveyard, if I remember correctly. Yeah, hand, deck, or graveyard. Yeah. Only if sleeper does get destroyed. Harpy's Feather Duster, we're gonna get to the techie cards in a bit. Big Red, this is just an in-archetype monster reborn. You need the 3 of it so that you can use and abuse the non-once per turn effects that almost all of your monsters have. Last Resort, this was also on the ban list for the longest time. It gives targeting protection and then soft once per turn on the other 2 effects. I don't know why. Again, none of the cards in this deck, or at least in the main deck, none of them are once per turns. It basically searches any of the spiral monsters in the deck, and then during the end phase, it shuffles any monster from your deck into the graveyard. If you don't do that, it destroys itself. So you can use Spiral Resort to recycle any of your main deck monsters here. And I'm just realizing that there are like exactly 20 monsters in this deck now. Once I've cut Super Agent down to 1. That's actually honestly really nice to look at. What people call the Konami ratio. Just 20 monsters in the deck. And then Spiral Mission Assault. Don't mind this effect does indeed come up every once in a while, where if you destroy a card on the field using a spiral monster's effect, usually with sleeper, you get to draw 1 card. Sometimes that helps, but more often than not, you just banish it from your graveyard and special summon a stranded spiral monster from your hand. Usually, in this case, it's either drone or another quick fix that you can't fish out using machine duplication. But otherwise, the other sneaky thing that this card has is because of it being a continuous spell, you can actually recycle it using Barricade Board Blocker. So keep that in mind. And then Utility Wire, again, as I've stated earlier in the video, Utility Wire is highly underrated in my opinion, because it places the targeted card on top of the deck. Although granted, you need to control Super Agent, so no Super Agent, no mass. Although you do have 2 ways to get Super Agent apart from Super Agent himself. Double Helix also counts as Super Agent when it's on the field or in the graveyard. So there's that. Don't sleep on this card. I'd run 3 of it, but in the games that I've played with this deck, and I've played a lot of games with this deck, having only the 1 is usually more than enough. And then Spiral Mission Rescue, again, this is only really in the deck for the graveyard effect. It acts as another monster reborn, although it can help where where it would be on the field and it recycles spiral monsters in your graveyard. It could help, but more often than not, it's just there for the revival effect. And then for our non spiral monster cards, at least in the main deck, Magician's Souls. This is basically just Foolish Burial for your Master Plan. You are never normal summoning Master Plan in any way, shape, or form. You're usually cheating her into play, and Magician's Souls is the easiest way to get to it. It does come up in fringe scenarios where you would send 2 spells and or traps from your hand and or field to the graveyard, and then you draw that many cards. So if you have any of the spiral missions, you can just convert it into 2 other cards instead. So yeah, Magician's Souls, when this was released, at least in the paper game, the stories that I hear, this was at most $100 per copy. So you need $300 just for I mean, it's a very powerful card, but it has I don't know if it has fallen out of favor since then, but otherwise this is really really good, and you can even get this for cheap. Just buy 3 of the Dark Magician structure deck. So there's that, and there's also like Illusion of Chaos in that deck. So yeah, it's worth your gems to at least invest in in the 6-card Magician engine moving forward. And then the other techie card, Maxi, because this deck is surprising. The main deck, if you thought the extra deck is tight, the main deck is just as tight, because I can only really fit Maxi and Infinite Impermanence here as part of the triumvirate of the Master Duel tax. I chose to not run Ash Blossom because although Ash Blossom does hit more and it gets by the banish style effects that Kashtira has, but Maxi is just sometimes more not really sometimes, but more often than not, Maxi stops more turns compared to Ash Blossom, because some decks can fight through an Ash Blossom. And then the other techie card here, Machine Duplication. The 2 level 1s you have in this deck are both machines, and this isn't a once per turn, but usually you're only really using the 1 to cheat out the other copies of Drone or Quick Fix, and triggering them more than once is you're basically drawing 3 cards when you do this line. 1 for 1 is basically the 4th copy of Machine Duplication, and then we have the DP engine of 2 Malicious and 1 Denier, and then of course the Master Duel tax of Infinite Permanence and Cold Grave. So that's the main deck, and it's really really tight. You could bump this up to 3 Super Agent, but I've reduced it down to 1 because you only really need the 1, and he's not really integral to the combos in the first place. I mean, I would cut him completely, but he is necessary for some of the other combos that this deck has, and of course he's a free special summon if the stars align right. Moving on to the extra deck, this is where it gets really really doozy, because the amount of choices that you have for the extra deck is very very limited because of how tight the space is. So DPE, of course, because you have a DPE engine in there. Linkoribo to convert either Quick Fix or Drone, just to get your combo started. You could use Linkoribo just to send Quick Fix to the graveyard and then summon Super Agent, so that you could get your special summon on, and then get your play started that way. Of course, 3 double helix. This is like the craziest piece of support that Spiral's got in the last couple of years, and they haven't gotten any more because I think people are pretty tired of Spirals by this point. I guess they really are, because some of them surrender the moment they see a Spiral card on field. He basically does what Super Agent does anyway, so that's why you can afford to reduce the main deck Super Agent down to 1. Otherwise, and then he could potentially special summon a Spiral monster from the deck right onto a zone that he points to, and he does have a downward pointing arrow, so there's that. And then that downward pointing arrow is a gateway drug into Tri-Gate Wizard, but we'll get to him when we get there. And then Nightmare Phoenix. Honestly, I would replace Nightmare Phoenix when I could, but no other Link 2 with a rightward pointing arrow has an effect that's as relevant as Nightmare Phoenix, because I have been checking and I have been digging. Hell, even in the unofficial simulators where the search engine there is honestly just as robust as, like, say, YuGiOh Pro Deck, where if you're searching Link monsters, here on Master Duel, it doesn't show you what arrows they have, it just shows you the Link rating. But when you're looking for rightward pointing arrows here, like this one right here, as you can see, no other card does it as good as Nightmare Phoenix does. And Nightmare Phoenix is honestly the best choice for the matter, because it has 1900 attack, and it has the highest attack out of all of the Link 2s that have a rightward pointing arrow. And of course, it's a spell trap destruction, so there's also that. Of course, I'd be Masquerena to go into the Avramax. This is the plan B of the deck. There are lines that will allow you to go into this, and it's very, very easy to set up an Avramax that cannot be easily killed, because of how much recursion this deck has innately. And of course, it also helps that none of them is once per turn. Barricade Board Blocker is here as a way to recycle destroyed, again, only destroyed Spiral Resorts, or to basically have an infinitely loopable, well, pseudo-infinitely loopable Spiral Mission Assault. Also, it's also a discard outlet as a way to discard the Master Plan in case it's stranded in your hand, in case you don't do this with your Magician's Souls and whatnot. Verta Anaconda, of course, because we have a DPE engine in here. And then Trigate Wizard. This is the if you haven't played Spirals way back when, this is going to trigger some PTSD in you if you did play during that format. It is very easy to get into the 3 co-links for Trigate Wizard in order for him to have his negation. Although it is very, very hard work. You need to be able to manage your resources properly, and also not be interrupted, or rather be able to fight through interruptions. So there's also that challenge. Although going second, Trigate Wizard does have a decent 2 co-link effect, where it just targets a card on the field and banishes it. So that could come up depending on the duel, but more often than not, you're aiming for the 3 co-links. But as I've come to learn, playing this deck in the games that I've played, do not always aim for Trigate Wizard. If you don't have enough material rotating into and out of the graveyard, do not try to aim for Trigate Wizard. Instead, aim for any of the plan Bs instead. Masquerena into Avramax, or the Destroy Phoenix and Forza Engine instead. And then the other tech card, of course, Nightmare Unicorn, because it's also removal. I have managed to trigger this guy's draw effect once, and even with Nightmare Phoenix, it is very easy to trigger the draw 1 effects of the Nightmares, because of Trigate Wizard here. And then this, I have to explain this one. Firewall Dragon has done me some good. Okay? This slot is the biggest flex slot in the entire deck, because it's a bounce. Okay, having just 1 bounce of a Firewall Dragon is, for all intents and purposes, is honestly really, really good. But because it's a Link 4, it's very, very hard to do so, because it's a Link 4. You need enough material on board to be able to do this. Although sometimes the 1 bounce can be enough tempo swing in your favor for you to be able to snatch a win here or there. And again, also 2500, that's also not a bad attack stat. And don't bother with any of the cyber stuff, because he's only really here as a removal tool. You could switch this out with the other Nightmare, Nightmare Cerberus, but I prefer the bounce over the destruction, because again, Yu-Gi-Oh has so many on destruction floating effects these days that I'd rather swing tempo rather than give my opponent a +1. We also have the triumvirate of Link Force here of Avramax, Access Code Token, and Appaloosa. Avramax is here as it's basically just a defense wall, quote unquote a defense wall, that always swings for 3000 points of damage. If you made him using Masquerena, he cannot be destroyed as well. Appaloosa, it's very easy to get 4 materials on board and have 4 monster negates here, and of course Access Code Talker as an alternate win condition. So yeah, that is the deck and why my ratios are the way they are. Again, do not aim for Trigate Wizard if you don't think you have enough material to keep the resource trains going. Otherwise, do aim for him when you can, but don't always do so because you have a DP engine in here, you have an Avramax engine in here. All right, there are other ways to win with this deck. Otherwise, this deck is a lot harder to pilot than I thought because again, this deck is not very clock friendly, and more often than not, you are always in danger of running out of time when playing with this deck. But yeah, apart from that, this is honestly a really powerful deck. I could I was playing in just Diamond 5 and I did lose all of my rank up matches unfortunately in this recording, but I have I will always recommend this deck to anybody who wants to try a really powerful Link deck because panels have not lost their touch just yet, unless of course Konami releases a more powerful Link based archetypes somewhere down the line. But otherwise, we're going to bring this very long video to a close, and if you like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.